cost of molding, because I know this is what many of you want to hear. Let's talk about cost of molding. If you want to mold 6 inches block, for example, how do you check them? And again, why you should mold is is that molding is cheaper. Even though you get a better quality, it is also cheaper when you are molding. So let's go to cost of molding, then you will know why it's cheaper and why you should mold. For example, if one bag of cement can mold 30 blocks, 9 inches block, it means that 10 bags will mold what? 300 blocks. Using 3,000 blocks as an example, you know that if you are to mold 3,000 blocks, you should be expecting 100 bags of cement, right? Yes, because one bag will give you 39 inches blocks. So 100 bags will give you 3,000 9 inches hollow block. Now, how do you calculate it to know the cost? Molding these days, before they mold with 500, 600, but these days it's like from 600 to even 1,000. It depends on your area, because every person or in every places they don't charge the same. So this depends on your area. If your area is a place where you can use 600 to mold one bag, they charge per bag. Good for you. But the example I'm going to use is with 800 naira per bag. That means molding 30 blocks with 800 naira if it is 9 inches block. So if it's 800 naira and you are going for 3,000, the example I'm giving is with 3,000 blocks. It means 800 multiplied by 100. I just said 100 bags of cement will give us 3,000 blocks, because one bag will give us 30 blocks. Molding solid blocks by yourself. Remember, I said it initially that one bag of cement can give you 30 to 40, 45 9 inches blocks. So let's use that 30, because we need quality. I mean quantity. I'm sorry, quality still, because we need quality. So let's go for 30 blocks. Now, one trip of sand can mold up to 500 blocks. That is 10 tons. One trip of sharp sand, we can get up to 500. In 9 inches, we can get up to, let me just say, 450 to 500 blocks. So this depends on the mixture. So it depends on the molders, but you can get from 450 to 500 blocks for one trip of sand. Now, if you are going for 3,000 blocks, using 450 for this 9 inches blocks, it means 3,000 divided by 450, and that will give us like 6.7, approximately 6.7 trip, which means you are ending up buying 7 trip of sand. And the one trip of sand is sold at the rate of 28, some places 25, some places 30. So it depends on how much they are selling one trip of sand in your area, but I'm using 28,000 naira as an example here. So if you are buying 7 trips with 28,000, you simply need to multiply that 28,000 by 7 trips, and that will give you 196,000 naira. That is for the sand. Remember, the labor is 1,800 multiplied by 100 bags of cement, which is 80,000 naira. That is for labor. Now, water, I know I don't normally add water whenever I'm giving estimate, because most people make provision for water even before starting anything in their site. But when it comes to water, I think in some places a tanker of water is like 10,000, some places 12,000, some places 15,000. So you can just, for this 3,000 block, just budget anything from 30,000 to 50,000 naira. That is if you don't have water in your site. So let's go for 50,000 naira. It might not be up to that. Every possibility is not going to be up to that, but let's just go for that. Then the next thing is cement. You have to check how much we need for cement. For 100 bags of cement, if cement is sold at the rate of 4,000 naira, you simply need to multiply it by that 100, and that will give us how much? 400,000 naira, if I'm not mistaken. So the total cost of molding 3,009 inches hollow block will be That 400,000 naira for cement, plus the 196,000 naira for sand, plus the 80,000 naira for the labor, and then the 50,000 naira for sand. These are just what you need to mold your blocks, and that will give us like 726,000 naira. That is for molding 9 inches hollow block, 3,000 9 inches hollow block, producing 30 blocks from one bag of cement. Remember, you can as well produce 35, you can as well produce 40, is as you desire, but I'm using 30. So if you are producing 35 from one bag or 40 from one bag, you should know that the cost will not be up to this, but you should also know that the block will not be as hard as the one produced with 30 blocks. But if you are to buy from block industry, one 9 inches block is sold at 280, some places 300, some places 250. So if it's 280 per one block, multiply it by 3,000, you'll be having 840,000 naira. One is more expensive, it's costlier than molding. Secondly, you're not going to get the quantity, the quality, I mean to say, you're not going to get the quality that you need. So can't you see it's better to mold? Buying 840,000, molding by yourself 726,000 naira, and the quality is not going to be the same. It's better you mold, right? You agree with me, I know that. But even if it's 250 per one block, you are still going to end up at 750,000. And remember that molding, there can still be some, you can still cut expenses, like this water I talked about might not be up to, you might have water in your site, so that 50,000 naira is aside. This sand I talked about, if shell sand is being sold at 25,000 or 24,000 in your area, you see that there will still be some reduction in the money. And if cement is not 4,000, maybe you are using 3,000, because some places cement is 3,800, some places 4,000, 3,900, 4,200. So if you are buying 3,800, you know that you still have some change there. You see, it will not even be up to this 726,000. And if molding in your area is 600 per bag, another money. So it's always cheaper and better to mold by yourself, though it's time consuming. So if you want to quickly do things and go your way, go and buy it, because it will take time when molding. Then for 6 inches block, of course, still 3,000 blocks. We are still going to use 3,000 blocks as an example. So now molding 3,000 6 inches hollow block, we are going to say one bag will give us 35 blocks, right? Which means that if one bag can give us 35 block, molding 3,000 means dividing 3,000 by 35. When you divide it, you are going to get 85.7, approximately 86 bags of cement. So 86 bags of cement should give us up to 3,000 blocks while molding 6 inches, molding 35 blocks per one bag. Remember, I can still mold 40 blocks, 45, because even those industry, they mold up to 50 from one bag. So you can still make it 40 for yourself, 38, but we are using 35 per bag. So if you are molding 35 blocks per bag, it means you should be expecting to buy like 86 bags of cement for 3,000 blocks. So if this is what you want, the cement, the sand also will be, the sand I just said initially that you can get from one trip of sand can give you 450 to 500 blocks. Now we are talking about 6 inches, so let's go for 500 blocks per trip of sand, which means that for this 3,000 divided by 500 is 6. So 6 strip of sand is okay. For this 28 multiplied by 6 will give us 168,000 naira. Then labor, here we just said 86 bags, and I said per bag they charge per bag, so one bag 800 multiplied by that 86 will give us will give us 68,800 naira. That is for labor. Then another thing is water. Let's just keep like 50,000 as well for water. When you add up all these things, you will end up getting 720,000 naira. No, sorry, 630,800 naira. 630,800 naira. This is with 35 blocks per bag, with 50,000 naira for water, and then buying of sand at the rate of 28,000 naira. And if you are to buy from industry at the rate of 220, you end up spending 220 multiplied by 3,000 will give you 660,000, which is already more than the 630 we got from molding. And in this place they mold like 50 blocks there, 45 from one bag, so the strength is not going to be the same. The one molded by yourself is going to definitely be stronger than the one you are buying from industry. And after buying, you see yourself spending more. And not just that, you are spending 660,000 naira for this, you are going to, most of them are going to break, and you will still need to replace them. So by the time you add the money for those ones that you are going to buy extra, you see yourself spending up to 800,000 naira for blocks, instead of, let's say, approximately 700,000 naira. And the quality is not going to be the same. If you are buying maybe at the rate of 240, because some places they sell 6 inches 240, 230, 220, 200, so it depends on your area, you see yourself spending up to 720,000 naira, regardless of the breakage and quality. You see, it is much more better to mold than to buy from industry. But just as I said before, if you know you are not going to be there to supervise the work by yourself, dear, go and buy. Or you can meet with the industry and tell them what you want. If the person is good enough, he will give you what you want, instead of giving it to molders to mold when you are not there, because that one will be the worst. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate today's video. Thank you for always being there. Don't forget to share the video after watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. It's still your one and only girl. Sorry for that. It's still your one and only girl, Fina M. Claire.